Hey viewers, Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today we are dealing with the coordination in plants. See, as we have already gone through coordination in animals, animals have a nervous system for controlling and coordinating the activities of the body. See, as we know, all the activities are controlled by our central nervous system, that is nothing but brain and spinal cord. But similarly, the plants do have nervous system? No. See, but plants have neither a nervous system nor muscles. See, plant doesn't have any of the nervous system or muscles. So how do they respond to stimuli? See, if I pinch the plant, are they going to sense it? No, I don't think so. So here, when we touch the leaves of a chui moi, the sensitive or touch me not plant of the mimosa family, they begin to fold up and droop. See, earlier the leaf is like this leaves. Okay, but after touching it completely, they are going to be like this. And one more here. They are completely going to fold. Okay, they are going to droop. When a seed germinates, the root goes down, the stem comes up into the air. What happens? Firstly, the leaves of the sensitive plant move very quickly in response to touch. See, if we are discussing about the particular plant, that is chui moi, in that after touching itself, see, this is before touching. After touching, it will be like this, it appears like this. Okay, so there is no growth involved in this moment. Are this? See, here if I touch it, it become completely like this immediately, but it doesn't involve the growth, right? This movement doesn't consider as a movement. On the other hand, the directional movement of a seedling is caused by growth. Say, if the seed is germinating, at that time the root is moving downward, whereas the shoot part is going to move upward. This is going to happen. Okay, this growth we can say it this movement we can consider it as a growth, right? The development of root as well as the development of shoot, this we can consider as the growth. Okay, root, and this is what the shoot. See, next, if it is prevented from growing, it will not show any movement. See, so plants show two different types of movement, one dependent on growth and other independent to growth. Here we can consider this both. Here this one is not considered as a growth, but here this one is considered as a growth. So we can say the plants have two type of movement, one is dependent on growth and another one is completely independent to growth. See, next we have immediate response to stimulus. See, as we are watching this plant, let us think about the first kind of movement. See, such as that of the sensitive plant. Since no growth is involved, the plant must actually move its leaves in response to touch, but there is no nervous tissue. nor any muscles, tissues. How does the plant detect the touch and how do the leaves move in response? See, first thing here in these plants, no nervous system is involved. No nervous system as well as and tissues are involved. Even though they are doing this work, how they are working, how they are detecting this sense, let me discuss. If we think about where exactly the plant is touched and what part of the plant actually moves, see, it is apparent that movement happens at a point different from the point of touch. See, if I touched here, okay, if I touched here means the all remaining leaves are going to stoop. Okay, where I have, especially where I have touched at that point, they are not going to, but next to that they are going to move. Okay, so it's from 10th standard NCERT textbook. See, hello everyone. Next, so information that a touch has occurred must be communicated. See, from one part to another part, they are communicating or transferring the message. The plants also use electrical, chemical means to convey this information from cell to cell. But unlike in animals, see, they are also having a electric chemical stimulus as we are having in our nervous system. We can say reflex action and reflex arc. See, here, but it is somewhat different from that in our animals. There is no specialized tissue in plants for the conduction of information. First thing, keep this in your mind. There is no specialized tissues or no specialized organs for such work. Moment. Finally, again, as in animals, some cells must change shape in order for the movement to happen. See, as we are discussed about the nervous system or neurons, when once a neuron is giving a message during reflex action or reflex arc, the shape of the cell is somewhat changed. The similar way, here also the shape of leaf is changing in order to movement. Okay, instead of the specialized proteins found in animal muscle cells, plant cells change shape by changing the amount of water in them, resulting in swelling or shrinking, and therefore in changing shapes. See, here as we are having a protein, a special protein, we can say myelin sheet present in neurons, but here the water is going to work that specialized function. When the water is filled, at that time the leaves are going to swell up, and when the amount of water is reduced, at that time the leaves are going to shrink. Therefore it is only responsible for the change in shape. Okay, so next, movement due to growth. Second category we are going to deal. First, we have dealt with the movement independent to growth, and now we are discussing about the movement due to growth. Some plants, like the pea plant, climb up other plants or fences by means of tendrils. See, if I draw the leaves as well as the tendrils, like spring like structures are present throughout the plant to give the support. Okay, These tendrils, this spring-like structure only is known as tendrils. Okay, see the tendrils. These tendrils are sensitive to touch. When they come in contact with any support, the part of the tendril away from the object, this cause does not grow rapidly. The part of tendril away from the object. See, when this is going to come in contact with some sticks, we can say, assume that it is one of the stick moving behind that particular pea plant. Now the tendril get in contact with that. At this time, this is going to spiral. Okay, this is going to spiral, or it does not grow as these are growing. Okay, this causes the tendrils to circle around the object and thus cling to it. More commonly, plants respond to stimulus. More commonly, plants respond to stimuli slowly by growing in a particular direction. Because this growth is directional, it appears as if the plant is moving. Let us understand this type of movement with the help of an example. See, when it is also getting one object at that time, it is also cling to that particular object. Okay, the similar way, this we can say, this kind of movement of growth is directional. Okay, see next, environmental triggers such as light, gravity will change the directions that plant parts grow in. These directional or tropic movements can be either towards the stimulus or away from it. See, here with an example we can consider this. Geotropic means towards the earth. Geotropic means towards the earth. In commonly we can say towards the soil. Okay, so here what is going to happen? The certain factors like gravity, light will change the directions. See, that plant part grow in. This direction or tropic movement can be either towards the stimulus or away from it. So, in two different kinds of phototropic movement, shoots respond by bending towards the light, while the roots respond by bending away from it. How does this help the plant? See, if I kept the pot in a as per the earth's lining, at that time the roots are going towards, or we can say away from sunlight. See, assume that away from light they are going to move. That is nothing but in towards the earth or within the earth, within the soil. Okay, it is also known as positively geotropic, whereas the shoot part is negatively geotropic and it moves towards the light. Okay, so next, plants show tropism in response to other stimuli as well. The roots of a plant always grow downward while the shoots usually grow upward and away from the earth. This upward and downward growth of shoots and roots, respectively, in response to the pull of earth or gravity. is obviously geotropism. See, whatever the things like shoot and root, they are developing, they are growing. If they are growing towards the earth means it is positively geotropic. Geo means earth here, whereas the shoot is negatively geotropic, and obviously it is moving towards the light. See, if hydro means water and chemo means chemical, what would hydrotrophism and chemotrophism movements? One example of chemotropism is the growth of pollen tubes towards ovule, about which we will learn more when we examine the reproductive processes of living organism. See, here what is going to happen if chemotropism, if we are discussing, means here we can assume that this is the pistil of a plant in which the chemical response, after chemical response only the pollen tube is going to germinate and fertilization within the ovule is going to happen. So this will be one type of chemotropism. Let us now once again think about how information is communicated in the bodies of multicellular organism. The movement of the sensitive plant in response to touch is very quick. The movement of sunflowers in response to day or night, on the other hand, is quite slow. Growth related movement of a plant will be even slower. See, if we are going through this means, firstly, information, or we can say communication in between in the bodies of multicellular organism, it is completely different. The movement of the sensitive plant in response to touch is very quick, as we have seen in the example do not touch me plant. Okay, the movement of sunflower we can say in response to day or night. See, okay, we wind up here only. Tomorrow I am going to deal with this. Allah